हेलो फ्रेंड्स। आज हम लोग देखते हैं वेनस डिसऑर्डर के बारे में, जो पेरिफेरल वास्कुलर डिसीज़ का टॉपिक है। आपको दूसरे भी पेरिफेरल वास्कुलर डिजीज़ के बारे में लर्न करना हो तो प्लीज़ मेरे इस चैनल को लाइक शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब करना ना भूलें। नाउ, what is venous disorders? It is alteration in the transport or flow of blood from the capillary back to the heart. It changes in smooth muscle and connective tissue make the veins less distensible with a limited recoil capacity. Then valves may malfunction causing backflow of blood into the vein. Then varicose triad includes blood stasis, vessel wall injury and altered blood coagulation. Now first one is the thrombophlebitis. It is inflammation of the veins caused by thrombus or blood clot. Now factors associated with the development of a thrombophlebitis includes venous stasis, damage to the vessel wall, hypercoagulability of the blood, that is oral contraceptive use. Then common to hospitalized patients undergone major surgery like a pelvic or hip surgery and myocardial ischemia. Now pathophysiology includes it develops in both the deep and superficial veins of the lower extremities. Deep veins like a femoral, popliteal, small calf veins and superficial veins in the siphoneus vein. Then thrombus form in the veins from accumulation of platelets, fibrin, WBC and RBC. Okay, as you can see, clot in a venous system. Now, deep vein thrombosis, that is DVT, it tends to occur at a bifurcation of the deep veins, which are sites of a turbulent blood flow. It is a major risk during acute phase of thrombophlebitis is dislodgement of the thrombus, that is the embolus. Then pulmonary embolus is a serious complication arising from deep vein thrombosis of the lower extremities. Now, clinical manifestations includes pain and edema of extremities, in that obstruction of venous flow, then increased circumference of the thigh or calf muscles, positive Homans sign, in that dorsiflexion of the foot produces calf pain. Then do not check for the Homans sign if deep vein thrombosis is already known to be present, because it increases risk of embolus formation. Then if superficial veins are affected, then signs of inflammation may be noted like redness, warmth, tenderness along the course of the vein. The veins feel hard and thready and sensitive to pressure. As you can see in a figure, deep vein thrombosis, how it looks, swelling and inflammation below the blockage because of thrombosis in deep vein. This figure shows clot lodged in heart due to venous blood return deposits clot in heart. Now, medical management for superficial thrombophlebitis includes bed rest with legs elevated, apply moist heat, then non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, that is aspirin. Then for the deep vein thrombosis, it requires hospitalization, bed rest with a leg elevated to 15 to 20 degrees above heart level, knees slightly flexed, trunk horizontal and head may be raised to promote the venous return and help prevent further emboli and prevent edema. Then application of warm moist heat to reduce pain promotes venous return. Then elastic stockings or bandage. Then anticoagulants initially with IV heparin, then Coumadin. Then fibrinolytic to resolve the thrombus formation. Then vasodilators if needed to control vessel spasm and improve the circulation. Then assessment for characteristics of the pain, onset and duration of symptoms, history of thrombophlebitis or venous disorders, then color and temperature of extremities, edema of calf of thigh, use a tape measure, measure both legs for comparison. Now, surgery includes if the thrombus is recurrent and extensive, or if the patient is at high risk for pulmonary embolism, then he or she need thrombectomy, that is incising the common femoral vein in the groin and extracting the clots. Then Vena cava interruption, transvenous placement of a grid or umbrella filter in the vena cava to block the passage of emboli. This one is the Greenfield filter is inserted into inferior vena cava to catch blood clots, so it prevents the complication like a pulmonary embolism. Okay, this one is a sequential compression device inflates with air to accelerate venous blood return. Now, nursing interventions. First, preventive care prevents long periods of standing or sitting that impairs venous return. Then elevates legs when sitting, dorsiflex feet at regular intervals to prevent venous pooling. If edema occurs, elevate above heart level. Then regular exercise program to promote circulation. Then avoid crossing legs at the knees. Avoid wearing constrictive clothing such as tight bands around socks or garters. Use elastic stockings on affected leg. Do leg exercise during periods of enforced immobility such as after surgery. Then other nursing management, that acute care, in that explain purpose of bed rest and leg elevation to the patient. Use elastic stockings. Monitor patient on anticoagulant and fibrinolytic therapy for signs of bleeding. Then monitor for signs of pulmonary embolism, that is sudden onset of chest pain, dyspnea, rapid breathing and tachycardia. Now, nursing intervention after surgery of vena cava interruption. In that, assess insertion site for bleeding, hematoma, apply pressure over site and inform physician. Then keep patient on bed rest for first 24 hours. Then encourage range of motion exercise to promote venous return. Then assist patient in ambulation when permitted. Elevate legs when sitting. Keep elastic bandage. Avoid rubbing or massaging the affected extremities. Then give analgesic and anti-inflammatory agents to promote comfort. Now, chronic venous insufficiency results from obstruction of venous valves in legs or reflux of blood back through the valves. Venous ulceration is serious complications. Pharmacological therapy is antibiotics for infection. Then debridement to promote healing. Then topical therapy may be used with cleansing and debridement. Then venous ulceration, how it looks. Now, varicose veins are abnormally dilated veins with incompetent valves occurring most often in the lower extremities. Usually affected are women 30 to 50 years of age. Causes includes congenital absence of a valve, then incompetent valves due to external pressure on the veins from pregnancy, ascites or abdominal tumors. Then it sustains increase in venous pressure due to congestive heart failure and cirrhosis. Okay, as you can see in a figure, normal vein how it looks and varicose veins how it looks. Now, pathophysiology includes the great and small saphenous veins are most often involved. Weakening of the vein wall may occur. It does not withstand normal pressure. It leads to veins dilate, pooling of blood, then valves become stretched and incompetent. Then after, more accumulation of blood in the veins may occur. Then it leads to varicose vein. Now, clinical manifestations includes primary varicosities, gradual onset and affect superficial veins, appearance of a dark turquoise vein. Signs and symptoms includes dull aches, muscle cramps, pressure, heaviness or fatigue arising from reduced blood flow to the tissues. Then secondary varicosities affects the deep veins, occurs due to chronic venous insufficiency or venous thrombosis. And signs and symptoms of secondary varicosities includes edema, pain, changes in skin color. Ulcerations may occur from venous stasis. Okay, this one is the phlebectomy. Then prevention, how it prevents. Wear elastic stockings during activities that require long standing or when pregnant. Then moderate exercise, elevation of leg. Then surgical interventions indicated or done for prevention or relief of edema, for recurrent leg ulcers or pain, or for cosmetic purpose. In that, vein ligation and stripping procedure is done. The great saphenous vein is ligated tied close to the femoral junction. The veins are stripped out through small incisions at the groin, above and below the knee, and at the ankles. Sterile dressings are placed over the incisions, and an elastic bandage extending from the foot to the groin is firmly applied. Okay, as you can see in a figure, vein ligation and stripping, how it done. Now, nursing care after vein ligation and stripping. Monitor for signs of bleeding, especially on first post-operative day. If there is bleeding, elevate the leg, apply pressure over the wound and notify the surgeon. Keep patient flat on bed for first 4 hours after surgery. Then elevate leg to promote venous return when lying or sitting. Then medicate 30 minutes before ambulation and assist the patient. Then keep elastic bandage snug and intact. Do not remove bandage without डॉक्टर्स परमिशन. थैंक यू फ्रेंड्स. आज हमने देखा वेनस डिसऑर्डर के बारे में. अगर आपको इस वीडियो के बारे में कोई कमेंट करना हो तो प्लीज़ कमेंट बॉक्स में जाके कमेंट करें.